the Roosters last night. You were part of the call for that one. As Freddie just mentioned, it puts a huge dent in their finals hopes. But my goodness, the Eels under Jason Riles, we're seeing the building blocks of a really great team here.
Well, round one, firstly, Jason Riles made some huge calls. He let some players go. Probably the biggest one was Clint Gutherson. Round one, they go down to Melbourne, they get beat by 50-odd, and we're like, oh, here we go, they're going to win 2 or 3 games. He has done an incredible job. I love the way they're playing. Defensively, they're going really well. I don't really watch defence, I watch their attack. Their attack is humming. Absolutely humming. That bloke, Mitchell, knows it. And this bloke, he's unbelievable. Put him in the circus, Marky Mark.
Is that a compliment?
The bearded lady or something.
There's some pretty skillful tries in this match. I know Parramatta, they scored a fair few of their tries, or majority of their tries off kicks, but, you know, I agree with you, Joey. I think progressively throughout the season, they've just got better and better. And in small ways too. Like, it's not like it's been, you know, massive jumps every week or every game. But you can just see the small changes each week or improvements, particularly with their defence and their willingness to stay involved in tight games. I think that's been a big improvement for the Parramatta Eels.
Yeah, they had a bit of a step back last week in South Sydney. That was a game that I reckon everyone thought they were going to win. Yeah. You spoke about the way they play. So if you think about the passes, so they pretty much, the possession ended up very similar. I think Parramatta 53%, which is a little bit more. But Parramatta threw 321 passes to the Roosters 210. Like, that's the way they played the Roosters. They just ran the forwards around, just kept moving the ball sideline to sideline. They got back behind the ball, which is very important if you want to do that. They had a couple of link plays in the middle. Obviously, Dylan Walker does that role very well. But Matt Dury, mate, the way he does it, very balanced. It's got that great pass where he goes to the line and shots it backwards. And, you know, Mitchell and those blokes on the back of that were making space on the edges. And what it did, it fatigued the Roosters that much. Their possession was awful. I think they completed like 50%. They made over 20 errors.
It was slightly above 50%.
What about...
That's terrible.
So Sammy Walker cops a Category 1 head knock, so that rules him out of next week's match against the Storm, and they essentially just have to keep winning to play the finals. What do you look at that and think, maybe they won't sneak into the 8 now? That's
the dangers of tackling low. Look, it's going to be a real struggle to beat the Storm down in Melbourne. That's on Friday night. And then they finish with South Sydney, who were going well, and would love to beat the Chooks in the last round. And it's a real worry. It's
with Alex Johnson too, breaking the record.
That was a worry.
They'll be up and about.
Be interesting what teams are playing. Canberra and Melbourne are now, they're locked in. They've got a top 2 spot.
Well, that's why the Tigers go Cowboys today, live and free, and then they got Canberra last round, down in Canberra. But they might rest so many players.
Well, if Canberra go full strength next weekend, win, I think that guarantees a minor premiership, pretty much. So that Ricky may rest a stack in that last round.
Well, their last game's Cronulla. And Cronulla are on the fringe of making a top 4 spot with the Warriors. The Warriors got a couple of tricky games. They've got Parramatta and Manly. So there's plenty to be decided for the all-important top 4.
Yeah, this is next Friday night, as Joey says.
Live and free.
Live and free here on Nine's Wide World of Sports. Bring it on. Obviously, no Sam Walker, as we just mentioned, but also no Harry Grant. So Cam, he's copped a 2-match suspension.
Yep.
Was sin binned as well.
Yes.
It was his first offence, grade 2.
Have they accepted it? Have we got news on that?
Well, you can't argue. He hits him in the head with a shot.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, have they
I don't think there's confirmation, but if he fights and loses, that's 3 matches. So
I don't think they will. No, I don't think they will. I think it's hard to argue here.
Can't you argue the grading, though, and not...
You can. You can get it downgraded.
Like, I feel like that's not a grade 2.
Well, he gets himself in a poor situation. It's a right shoulder tackle.
Maybe they, if anything, they may challenge the grading, but it's sort of hard to argue where point of contact was made. It was directed with the head. It's not your traditional shoulder charge, let's be honest. He goes in there. It's just poor technique. He sort of turns side on. There's no tucking of the arm where he's just trying to go in and create that impact with his shoulder. It's the arm's down by the side, but it's high contact with the head.
Take 2 weeks, rest up.
And I'll tell you what, I reckon it's almost a blessing in disguise for Harry. Like, he's had a massive year. He's played a lot of football. He was involved in the entire Origin series where, you know, he was pretty battered and bruised at the end of that. This could be a blessing in disguise for the Storm to give Harry a couple of weeks off to freshen up. I think, by all reports, I think Craig's going to look to rest a whole heap of his players anyway over the next fortnight, like he's done in previous years. I think in the last round last year, he pulled out like 11 players, I think, against the Broncos.
Do you do that last round or second last round?
Oh, I think he may spread it across the next two. Yeah. He said in his press conference after this game that there's probably a few guys looking for a rest.
He's 600 games as well.
It's his 600,
you want to win. He's not selfish.
Well, he might stack the team then and rest them all in the last round against the Broncos. But I think the top two is locked away for Storm. Is that right? Is that correct? So look, they can't move. I think he'll look at the opportunity on the advice of his high performance staff, which those guys they know exactly what they're doing, experienced. I think he'll look to rest a couple.
Incredible footy on Friday night, but there was a moment of controversy. The Stephen Crichton no try. Joey, you were very strong on this. So
well, how does he regrip? The rules is regripping. He's got the biggest hands in the competition. And it's all, when you regrip, it's all about the thumb wrapping around. Now, we saw one last night with Sam Rami, score one for Parramatta. And he did the same motion, but he got it a bit higher. The only difference was he didn't juggle it forward. I think it's the rule, the way they write the rule, I think it has to be changed because for me, that's a try. Gets his hand on it, downward pressure before it hits the ground.
I'm still not convinced Marion Sevy doesn't touch it.
Yeah, but just show it.
Slow.
You know what I'm
saying? So you're saying it's a Melbourne knock-on first?
Just show it in real time.
No. So if Stephen Crichton knocks the ball forward and it touches Marion Sevy, it's no try.
Oh,
but
yeah,
that's
he
before
can't score,
he even regrips.
Yeah.
It's a different issue what Joey's talking about. But you'd have to show. I haven't watched it close enough, but I reckon Marion Sevy's hands are in and about where the ball is. So
was Stephen Crichton taken out in the contest, or was there interference? Because when we're looking at the put down,
Emma,
we're all focusing on that.
Emma, every challenge you can find a penalty. Every challenge. And there, if you want to be pedantic, you can say the hips, he got hit by Marion Sevy, but you know what? There's 3 players in there competing for the ball. Yeah. There's going to be contact. That, no penalty against Melbourne, but for mine, that is a try. He gets his hand on it, downward pressure. Now, do they want to regrip? Does he want to put the hand underneath? Because with the wrapping, Brian Smith used to talk about grip, and it's all about the thumb wrapping around. So you look at that. Stephen Crichton gets his hand on the ball, his thumb's wrapped around it, downward pressure. For mine, it's a try.
I don't think you'd find too many people that would be upset if that was called a try, to be honest.
Well, you're a Storm man.
Yeah, I would have been happy to see that awarded a try. Because, the whole regripping and control, I actually think Stephen Crichton got his hand to the football before it touches the turf. And he has downward pressure and he has control over the football. It's not like it rolls out of his hand or anything. I would have been happy to see it awarded a try.
I think the game's reluctant to change rules, but I think in this situation, we changed the rule first and started talking about regrip. The original rule was always about control.
And downward pressure.
Yeah, and downward pressure. And all of a sudden we threw in another version of how we wanted to interpret it. But I think getting rid of that and just using control, I think is most surely the easiest and smartest way to go.
It was a crazy finish in Melbourne, but that was trumped by what we saw in Mudgee. An epic golden point finish, something we probably haven't seen ever in the history of rugby league. This was quite honestly a miracle in Mudgee. Nathan Cleary's field goal attempt hits the upright, Penrith get it, Ethan Strange runs 80-odd metres, sets up Kyo Weeks to get the victory. Joey, have you ever seen anything like this?
Nothing.
In the history of the game?
Nothing. And how appropriate. 2 of their young guns who have excelled this year, Kyo Weeks and also Ethan Strange. Ethan Strange, what a player. Crazy, absolutely crazy. This was one of the best games I've seen in a long time. Canberra, the real deal. Absolute real deal.
Well, what they did, they went with them. They completed high. They made more breaks than Penrith. Like Penrith don't throw that much at you, but they just strangle you.
Especially when they were up 16-6. When they get up 16-6, you don't beat Penrith. They just suffocate you. But they found a way. They found a way, the Raiders.
Offloads, plenty of offloads. Plenty of attack.
Well, they've only lost the 4 games this year, the Raiders. A couple early ones. And the last one was about a month ago against the Dragons. If you look over those performances where they've lost, it's been through poor completion rates. So when they hold the football and they have a fair share of possession, they are a very dangerous footy side.
Well, they're 3 tries. 2 of the tries are off kicks. So it goes to show how good Raiders' defence was.
What are your thoughts on Penrith, fellas?
No, I don't think they can win it. You can't win it outside the top 4. It's too hard. No one's done it, and that's for a reason. Now, they've had 2 golden point games. They've gone to absolute war with teams. Now, this week, Thursday night, they play the Bulldogs at a core. Could be a huge crowd. They finish with St George Illawarra.
Yeah.
Then they've got to go into sudden death. To win it, you have to win 4 games in a row. Too hard.
What does that do? I mean, physically, yes, but mentally as well. Having to lose 2 golden point games, the first time a team's ever lost twice in a row to a golden point try. Mentally, that's surely taxing.
Yeah, it would be, but if there's any club or any team in the competition that can handle it, it's Penrith. And I think it's just a reminder, though, I think that they are still a chance. And I reckon
You reckon they could win it outside the top 4?
I reckon, mate. Yeah, I reckon. And if you look over the last 2 matches, like it hasn't been just any team that they've taken a golden point. It's been Melbourne Storm, as we're looking at this vision here, and the Raiders. So they're 1 and 2. They took the top 2 teams of the competition to golden point and had chances to win it, let's not forget. And it just took special efforts from both the Storm and the Raiders to win it.
Well, in one game they kicked a field goal, had to take it off.
Them. Yeah.
And in the second game, he hit an upright.
Yeah.
So
Liam Martin there pulled out of the tackle.
What?
Because he thought tackling in the air.
Yeah.
But when the ball bounces...
That's why you got to know the rules.
But in the heat of the battle, you know...
You got to know the rules.
He's a back rower. Come on.
What are you saying?
Well, he's Ducks.
He
was the Ducks at school.
yeah, they kept telling me he's intelligent.
But there was only 5 kids in his school. That's why he got Ducks.
That's a bit harsh and definitely not true.
Sorry,
there was family.
There was 6. There was 6 kids in the year. No, I'm only joking, Liam.
We saw the top 4 teams there go to work on Friday night, which is potentially the prelim finals. Can you, at this stage, pick your grand finalists from what you saw unfold?
Without a doubt, Storm Raiders.
Storm Raiders.
Yeah, I think Storm Raiders. Yeah.
Ethan Strange, he's a big part of that.
So now you're saying they can't win at Penrith?
I think they can, but I think it will be
Storm Raiders.
Storm Raiders in the grand final. If there's anyone outside of those 2, Penrith will be one of them. Yeah. I think so.
Time will tell. It's going to be probably the best final series we've seen in recent
if you're going to win it outside the top 4, there's a lot of travel. There's Canberra, there's Melbourne, and there's Auckland. If the Warriors come forth, so it makes it even harder.
Champagne Rugby League.
Yes, our Champagne Rugby League moment of the week, thanks to Fatty Vorton, is Daly Cherry Evans running out for game 350 in the NRL. Only the 5th player to achieve the milestone, alongside Cam Smith, Cooper Cronk, Darren Lockyer and Terry Lamb. And didn't Manly put on a show at 4 Pines Park? They got the job done, which means mathematically, yes.
Mathematically.
When you
said the Tigers are still a chance, mate, so I can say that.
Actually, yeah,
They're a chance.
you're right.
They're a chance.
I'm off me. No. I thought they were on equal with the Tigers. So who did the Eagles go the last couple of weeks?
They got the Warriors, and then they have...
No, Parra's got the Warriors this week.
Seagulls play the Warriors. Last game.
Last round they play
next
the Dragons? Do they have the Dragons?
That's right, they play the Dragons.
Well, on paper, both winnable games. They were good. They were really good.
Were you wondering where that all came from? Like,
What about Tolu Kola?
he was great.
How good is he getting? No one can tackle him.
He's powerful.
Good time for Turbo to hit form again as well, with the contract negotiations in full swing.
Lehigh Hopewadi can finish.
That one.
Yeah.
Although the Dolphins were poor.
The move putting Turbo back to fullback helps. I think Cola's form has been unbelievable.
So is
his
him.
tackle breaks.
Bully more.
And then, you know what,
Oh,
Cherry
wow.
Evans, he was on fire. Everything he did.
It's
Great. The kick from dummy, the kick from the scrum was awesome. With his pass.
Their performance is probably what everyone's been expecting of them this year, I reckon.
How good's that?
Players and the coach, Anthony Seibold, is in particular.
Where's Hammer?
Hammer was on the other side.
But they were disappointing, the Dolphins, and have been over the past 3 weeks. They were in such a good position. They put themselves in such a good position where they've almost squandered an opportunity to play finals footy. The very first time, for their franchise. They were in a golden position to do that, but just, some poor errors. Their defence, just the last 3 weeks, like their defence is just they haven't shown a whole lot of resilience when things have got a little bit tough.
Roosters put 60 on.
160 in 3 weeks.
Yeah, conceded a lot over the last 3 weeks.
That's a lot.
And when you look at what the Dolphins have been about in the 3 seasons, like they built their game on defence and working hard for one another, and it's almost has not been there at all for the last 3 weeks. So they've still got a chance. Again, one of these teams mathematically that could make it, or more than mathematically. Like 2 wins at the end could really put them in the frame to play finals.
It was Herbie. I cried for a good reason.
Yeah, because that was the end of
When
the
he
season.
went down, I cried.
Actually?
Actually.
Wow. Can you give us some tears on air?
Okay.
It's
Give me a
goodness.
second.
I can turn them on. When I get in trouble, I used to turn them on. Just get me straight out of trouble.
I nearly got a tear, actually. I've done-
This is
Did
my
ya?
30s.
Yeah, I could do that.
It's not school. This is my 30s.
Right. When you got in trouble off the coach, just
Not the
crocodile
coach.
tears.
My
No.
20s. No.
Yeah.